If you've been interested in getting a powerful yet budget-friendly cutting machine, then you're going to enjoy today's review of the LOKLiK iCraft. Hi there, I'm Jane from Sustain My Craft Habit. LOKLiK is a sister company of HDV Rod, whose auto heat press we've reviewed in the past, and when they reached out asking us to review their newest cutting machine, we were keen to give it a go. So in today's video, we're going to unbox and set up the LOKLiK iCraft machine, complete 3 quick projects using different materials, and then share some of our first thoughts on using this new AI-powered cutting machine. Let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at what comes with the LOKLiK iCraft machine in the box. There's a compartment to hold all the tools and accessories in here, and it comes with it a pen tool and a weeding tool, and then this just clicks into the side over here. There's also the power adapter, which we'll need to plug in to get the machine going. There is a USB adapter if you want to use it with your desktop computer or laptop. Also in here is the envelope, and in there's just a little information pamphlet and a quick start guide, and then there's the full user manual. They sent a sample of heat transfer vinyl, the standard grip mat, 2 fine tip blades that we're going to mount into this housing, the blade housing, and then this one is for the pen tool that you would use to load the pen in there. And then I like that over here side holder. Looks like you can store your housing tools in there. There are additional housing types you can buy separately. This button pushes in, and we're going to just pull off the protective cap. The blade is really sharp on this end, so be careful in handling that you don't cut yourself. You're just going to push in the button, slide that right in there, and then that's it. The blade is ready to go. This piece, and so I'll just load it in there for now. Our little compartment opens up. We're going to slide that in there as far as it goes and then close it back up. That's all there is to the setup process. Next, just follow the prompts to add a new device. This works either by Bluetooth or USB cable. And they have a new device test that runs you through these simple steps to do your first cut using the sample that they provide. So it shows you exactly how to insert the cutting blade. Next, we're going to mount the sample vinyl that they provided by sticking it face down onto the cutting mat. You just want to line up the corner, the top left corner, and then smooth it down into place. Next, we need to load the cutting mat with the vinyl into the machine by placing it into the guides and then pressing the load button. And then we'll just tap the cut button and it'll do the cut of the design that's already preloaded into the software. Now this simple cut took less than 2 minutes, and once done, you're going to push the button to unload the mat. We then just want to peel off the excess vinyl from around and within the design. Then I used my little iron to press it on just to a piece of scrap fabric. And the final step is just to peel off the backing from the iron-on vinyl. But that's it. That's all there is to heat transfer vinyl. Now we have this piece that has this nice decal ironed right on there. It's flexible. Great demonstration, first project of our LOKLiK iCraft machine. Okay, now that we've successfully unboxed it, set it up, and used it for our first cut, let's have some fun and make a few more crafts. We're going to first cut this piece of scrapbook paper. I'm going to cut some simple shapes to make some cards and other embellishments. Now let's go back to our software. They have thousands of different designs that you can use for print then cut. We're going to do some printable stickers in a bit. You can do layered elements. You can do HTV like heat transfer vinyl and make t-shirts and all sorts of different things, but I just want some simple shapes. So we're going to start by coming to the bottom. There's a little pencil and ruler that you click on that opens up the canvas. Shape function, you can have a heart, a diamond. So I'm just going to pick a couple hearts to put on here. And then you can size them however you want. So let's make this one about 3.5 inches. You can duplicate that, flip it around just to make the most out of your material. Pick them both and duplicate that again. and maybe make those a little bit smaller. This is just kind of free-form design. Now let's see if they have some other shapes. You can go to the library here, and then there's all these graphics and images. Okay, well, let's try this cute little fence. Once you've selected your designs, you're going to press Make, select the materials and parameters for cutting, and then create a new task. Now here we have some pre-built-in options, but you can also customize them based on your materials. Load. I guess it's going. This LOKLiK iCraft machine is supposed to cut over 100 different types of materials with a 5,200 grams of force, cutting force, which is actually quite high for machines in this category. You can see here the speed at which it cuts and the noise, the volume of the noise that it operates. There we go. Get our paper off without... Beautiful. Love it. I was really happy with how cleanly and crisply the shapes cut out, and now I have them to use for various crafts. I'm going to use these hearts to make a simple greeting card, multi-purpose card. So I just inked a little bit around the edges and then glued 2 of the smaller hearts in front of this craft paper card, and then added a little bit of double-sided foam tape to the back of the larger heart and placed that in the center of the card. While I had my ink out, I inked a couple of rectangles of white cardstock paper and then punched a hole into the little flag shape and tied on a bit of white twine. And I have now these cute tags that I can use for gifts or in my journals, or just to have to add embellishments to my upcycling projects. Okay, for our next craft, we're going to make a pair of adorable dangle faux leather earrings. And this came from LOKLiK, along with this glitter heat transfer vinyl. So I created this simple cut file using a teardrop template from the library. Catalogs, we kind of have to go digging for it a little bit, but I found it in the other section under others. There's a few faux leather, and I believe this is the 1mm. It did not come with a label, so I'm going to just try 1mm, and it gives us the force and speed and suggests 2 passes. And then we'll check it before taking it out to make sure that it's going to do the trick. It tells us to put the textured side up. So the faux leather does have a side that's a bit smoother and then a side that has a bit more texture. So we just want to make sure to load that one face up onto the mat. I'm going to press add to task. Okay, so now our cutting file is ready to go. Let's load this onto the mat. And we want to line it up here on the corner. Now we want to press it down nice and smooth and load the mat right in there. Let's load. And then on the phone, I'm just hitting the little start button. Okay, great. Let's see. Perfect. Oh my goodness, so satisfying. Now we have our full teardrops. And then the smaller ones. Next, we're going to cut our glitter heat transfer vinyl. And you can see here it has a glossy side and a more matte side. And so the glossy side is where the glitter is, and we're going to place that face down. And this is why it's important to mirror. It doesn't so much matter for this particular cut file because the designs are symmetrical, but if you're doing words or anything that's not symmetrical, you'll want to make sure to mirror your image so that it actually cuts. When you take it off and flip it over, it's going to be in the right orientation. Unload. There we go. So cut through. Now, you can hold on to this and use it because they are perfectly sized to match with this inside piece, right? So we can also put that on the back and have this as a double-sided dangle. Next, we're going to use a little heat iron to iron those onto the corresponding leather cutouts. LOKLiK's sister company HTV Rond has a whole selection of different types of vinyl that we've used in the past, and they work really well. Just follow the instructions, and the quality is actually quite good. Once the vinyl cooled down a bit, I just carefully peeled it right off of that carrier sheet, and now we have these beautiful sparkly earring pieces. Okay, so I cut out enough pieces of the faux leather to make 2 pairs of earrings. This has the gold ironed on there, and then this is just the ungolded. Is that a word? So to create them, we're going to make just little holes in the top. The trick is to make the hole as close to kind of that tip, because I have these little jump rings, so we need them to clear that top area. If you use larger jump rings, you can go farther down, but we're going to use the weeding tool and try to go again like as close to the corner, you know, kind of have space around just like that. And you can see it goes all the way through both layers. You're going to need a larger jump ring, then a smaller one, and then the fish hook binding. So let's start with the bigger one. We'll open it up. Okay, we're going to start with our leather layer on the back. We want the textured side to face forward. This right through that hole. So now we want to layer the gold piece over top, just like that, and close it. Now I'm going to open up the second little jump ring, and it's going to connect the fisheye with the earring. And just like that, you've made 2 different pairs of earrings. These would be lovely gifts or an item to sell at a craft fair or show. For my next project, I was really keen to try the AI generator tool to create some stickers for my junk journals. You launch the tool from within the Idea Space software by clicking on this AI painting tab, and then you can just put in your prompts for whatever it is that you'd like to create. I wanted to make these stickers, so I typed vintage ephemera stickers with butterflies and flowers in a watercolor style. Then you have some options. You can create a vector design or an image. I chose the image option, and then this gouache effect, which gave it a really vibrant color. You click on that, you select the size and how many variations of that design you want, and it created this really beautiful set of stickers for me. It's actually 2 different pages. So you can save those designs, and then I picked one of the pages to put onto the canvas. Then when I clicked on the design, this imaging tab popped up that let me choose what I wanted to do with it, and I wanted to try the print then cut function. It did a really good job of creating a tracing around my stickers, and that's basically where it's going to be doing the cutting. Now we're going to add it to the canvas, and we'll have 2 layers, one for printing, one for cutting. Once we hit make, we can choose the print then cut mode, and then send this to the printer. You want to just size it down so it fits within the registration marks, and there's a whole process for calibrating your machine. I'm not going to go in it because the instructions are there, but this is just where it needs to be in order for the machine to recognize it. And then I set this to print on my LaserJet printer at home. You could use your inkjet printer, whatever you have to work with. Now there we go. My print came out a bit askew, but that's okay. The machine recognized it with those registration marks and compensated pretty well. But now we simply load that into the machine and press cut, and the machine does all the work to cut right around these shapes. And in under a couple minutes, we had our new AI generated stickers all cut out and ready to use. So if you've ever been interested in making your own stickers, I think this was super easy and really satisfying to make. I'm using mine for my junk journal. This is my 3rd junk journal on my journey to 10, and we have a video of the first journal I made. But I said I would not be allowed to buy any more supplies until I made 10 junk journals. Now, the LOKLiK iCraft doesn't count because I'll be able to use this for all sorts of other crafts as well. Overall, I think the LOKLiK iCraft would make a great addition to any craft room, especially for a beginner because of the easy setup and ease of use. I think also the value for the dollar is amazing. They have some great launch offers where you can get bundles for a really reasonable price. I'm really looking forward to exploring even more projects, and we'll have additional ones coming up on our channel, so be sure to like and subscribe for additional ideas. We also have tons of free SVG files over at sustainmycrafthabit.com that you can upload and use with the Idea Studio software to create your projects. Thank you again to LOKLiK for sending us this machine to review, and thank you to you for watching. Let us know if you have any questions below. Happy crafting!